IITJEE.
Hi, Barry Science Lab!
What up, folks? Today we're going to be doing a nice kinematics problem. Let's check it out. You throw a ball upward. After half of the time to the highest point, the ball has covered A. half the distance to the top, B. more than half the distance, C. less than half the distance, D. depends on how fast you throw the ball. Duh. Let's see which one it is. You throw a ball upwards, so here's your hand. I'm going to try my best to accurately draw a hand. As you can see, this is a completely realistic hand with 3 fingers and non-existent thumb. So here's your ball, and you throw it upwards with some velocity v. What we want to know is after half the time to the highest point, how much distance has this ball covered? So let me visualize that for you. So let's say the ball trajectory looks something like that, and then it comes back. Now here's the reality of the situation. This ball is going to be decelerating, right? It's acting against gravity. So at first it's going to have a good, nice high velocity, but then it starts to slow down, then it comes back, right? And when it's coming back, of course, same thing happens. Its velocity increases. When it's coming back, velocity decreases when it's going up. So after half the time, we're told, after half the time, how much distance has this thing covered? Well, here's one way to think of it. Reverse time and think backwards. Instead of throwing the ball upwards, I myself find it a bit easier to think about dropping the ball. So when you drop a ball, what happens? Well, at first the ball has some velocity, but as it picks up more and more velocity, the distance between these points, these motion tracking points, increases, right? So after half the time, right? Let's say half the time is, I don't know, right here. Well, you would have traveled more in this half than you would in this half. This half you're still picking up speed. This half you've already picked up a lot of speed, and so the distance between each tracker is quite a bit. So that means if you reverse your psychology, if you're throwing your ball upwards instead of letting it go downwards, that means this distance covered here, this distance here, that distance is clearly more than half of the total distance this ball travels, right? So that means our answer is going to be none other than choice B. More than half of the distance is covered by the ball in half of the time. Thanks for watching this lecture. We'll check you out in the next episode of
Ambition plus MKO plus scaffolding equal learning. We believe anyone can learn anything. That's why our motto is memorization is a crime. And that's why we partnered with Brilliant.
Brilliant transforms math and science into hands-on activities so that you too can understand everything from first grade math to E equals MC squared. Barry Science Lab and Brilliant is your MKO, and will give you the scaffolding to expand your ZPD until you become the next Sir Isaac Newton or Albert Einstein.
Visit brilliant.org/Barry Science Lab today. And the first 50 of you to use that link will get a 20% discount on the Brilliant annual subscription.
Don't forget that you too can become the next Einstein. So let's fall in love with math and science.